In a world where everyone is quick to react, there's a rare kind of power in saying nothing. Silence can speak louder than words, especially when emotions are running high. Today, through the lens of Stoicism, we'll explore why holding your tongue not only protects your peace, but can also make your presence impossible to ignore. Because sometimes, the less you say, the more she feels. Silence is a statement. Silence is not simply the absence of words, it's a deliberate choice that can speak volumes. In a noisy world where everyone rushes to react, staying silent becomes a rare and powerful act. Stoics understood that silence is a tool for self-mastery, allowing us to respond with reason instead of impulse. Sometimes silence is agreement, sometimes disapproval, and other times it is the most dignified answer you can give. It is both a shield and a weapon, depending on how you use it. Lessons in points. Silence reflects self-control. You show mastery over your emotions by not reacting instantly. Silence can command respect. People notice when you choose your words carefully. It gives space for clarity. Without the pressure to respond, your mind processes truth more clearly. Not all battles need words. Sometimes the wisest response is none at all. Silence can expose the truth. Let others reveal themselves through their own words. It prevents regret. Words spoken in anger can't be taken back. Silence avoids that trap. Silence can shift power. It forces others to fill the void, often revealing more than they intended. It reduces conflict. When tempers rise, silence is often the fastest path to peace. Silence nurtures listening. It's hard to truly hear others if you're always speaking. It teaches patience. The act of waiting before responding develops emotional discipline. Silence strengthens presence. In conversations, being fully attentive without constant talking leaves a strong impression. It guards your privacy. The less you reveal, the more mystery and control you keep. Silence signals strength. Those who are secure in themselves don't need to constantly prove it. It can express disapproval without aggression. Walking away or staying quiet can be more impactful than arguing. Silence lets actions speak louder. Often, deeds carry more weight than speeches. It fosters deep thought. Moments of quiet reflection lead to wiser choices. It disarms manipulation. Refusing to engage with toxic words can neutralize their power. Silence can be a form of boundaries. Choosing not to respond tells others what you will and won't tolerate. It gives weight to your words. When you speak rarely, people listen more closely. Silence is a language. It communicates confidence, restraint, and wisdom without a single syllable. Absence creates presence. In a world where people constantly compete for attention, sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to step back. Absence is not emptiness. It's a deliberate space that gives others the chance to feel your value. When you are always available, your presence becomes ordinary. But when you remove yourself, even for a time, you create contrast. That contrast makes others notice what they once took for granted. The Stoics understood that strategic absence can sharpen relationships, inspire respect, and make your presence more deeply felt when you return. Lessons in points. Scarcity increases value. Just like rare treasures, your presence becomes more appreciated when it's not constant. Absence sharpens memory. People think more about what they can't immediately have. It prevents being taken for granted. Space makes others aware of your importance. Absence can heal tensions. Distance can cool down emotions and give clarity after conflict. It builds self-respect. You show you're not desperate for constant approval or validation. Space creates curiosity. People wonder where you are and what you're doing, increasing intrigue. It strengthens independence. Time apart allows you and others to grow individually. Absence tests. Bonds. True relationships survive distance. Weak ones fade. It allows others to miss you. Emotions deepen when there's room to feel longing. Absence creates anticipation. Your return becomes an event, not a routine. It enhances quality over quantity. Less frequent interactions can make each one more meaningful. It creates emotional reset. Stepping away clears the noise and restores balance. Absence commands respect. People value what isn't constantly available. It shifts power dynamics. Distance puts you in a position of control rather than dependency. Absence reveals true intentions. If someone reaches out in your absence, their interest is genuine. It prevents emotional burnout. Space keeps relationships fresh and avoids overexposure. Absence deepens gratitude. When you return, appreciation replaces complacency. It allows reflection. Both you and others can better evaluate the relationship. Absence creates mystery. Not everyone needs to know your every move. Mystery attracts. It's a silent teacher. Distance teaches people your worth without a single word. Words lose value. When overused words are powerful until they're spent carelessly. Compliments, promises, and declarations lose their meaning when repeated too often without depth. Just as currency loses value when overprinted, speech loses weight when overused. The Stoics believed that wisdom lies in speaking less, but with intention. When your words are rare, they carry force. When they're constant, they become background noise. True influence comes not from how much you speak, but from how deliberately you choose your words. Lessons in points. Repetition without sincerity dulls meaning. Overused words stop feeling special. Silence strengthens speech. Pauses give your words more weight when you finally speak. Constant praise weakens impact. Compliments mean more when they're earned, not given out of habit. Empty promises erode trust. People remember unkept words more than kind ones. Over-explaining reduces authority. Brevity shows confidence. Rambling shows doubt. Rarity creates impact. The fewer words you use, the more people remember them. Repetition can feel manipulative. Overusing certain phrases can make them seem insincere. True feelings need space to breathe. Give words time to settle before repeating them. Overused apologies lose meaning. If you keep saying sorry without change, it becomes noise. Too many promises dilute commitment. Commit less, deliver more. Overcommunication can overwhelm. People stop listening when they hear too much. Words should match action. Without action, even beautiful words feel hollow. Overused reassurance loses comfort. Constantly saying "it's okay" may stop feeling genuine. Frequency reduces mystery. When every thought is spoken, curiosity fades. Impact comes from timing. The right words at the right moment hit harder than constant chatter. Clarity beats quantity. A single precise statement beats a dozen vague ones. Predictable words lose emotional punch. Variety in expression keeps attention. Too much talking hides the truth. Sometimes the core message gets buried under extra words. Authenticity requires restraint. Speak because it matters, not because you must. Wise speech is measured. As the Stoics taught, say only what is necessary, nothing more. Mystery fuels. Interest. Mystery is a quiet magnet. It draws people in without force, without noise. In a world obsessed with oversharing, keeping parts of yourself hidden makes you more intriguing. The Stoics understood that true influence doesn't come from telling everything, but from leaving space for others to wonder. Mystery is not deception. It's the art of selective revelation. When people don't know everything about you, they lean in closer. They imagine. They chase. The less you give away, the more they want to know. Lessons and points. Curiosity is a natural pull. The unknown invites exploration. Mystery builds anticipation. People look forward to uncovering what's hidden. Selective sharing creates depth. Not every detail needs to be exposed. The unknown feels valuable. We value what is rare and hard to access. Mystery sparks imagination. People fill in the blanks with their own thoughts. It prevents being predictable. Surprise keeps relationships and connections alive. Mystery signals confidence. You don't need to prove yourself by over-explaining. It keeps people talking about you. The less they know, the more they speculate. Mystery shifts power. Control lies with the one who reveals on their own terms. It avoids emotional overexposure. Protecting some parts of yourself keeps your strength intact. Mystery builds allure in relationships. Desire thrives on discovery, not saturation. It encourages respect. People respect boundaries they cannot cross easily. Mystery creates exclusivity. Not everyone deserves to know everything about you. It gives you time to observe. Staying reserved lets you learn before revealing. Mystery fuels personal brand. In life or business, scarcity of information can be a marketing tool. It reduces vulnerability to manipulation. Less shared means fewer weaknesses exposed. Mystery stimulates pursuit. People chase what they don't fully have. It aligns with Stoic restraint. Speak less, reveal less, act with purpose. Mystery keeps the story alive. People stay engaged when they don't know the ending. The right balance matters. Too much mystery can push people away. Too little can bore them. Self-control signals strength. In a world where most people react instantly to emotions, self-control is rare, and rare things are powerful. The Stoics saw self-control not as weakness, but as the ultimate strength. The ability to master yourself before trying to influence others. Resisting impulses, delaying gratification, and choosing your response instead of being a slave to emotion shows true inner power. Anyone can lash out, overindulge, or give in to temptation. But to remain calm, measured, and disciplined under pressure, that is the mark of strength that commands respect. Lessons in points control. Over self precedes control over life. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. Restraint shows confidence. Those who don't need to prove themselves are truly powerful. Self-control prevents regret. Measured actions avoid mistakes made in haste. Calmness under pressure inspires trust. People rely on those who stay composed in chaos. Resisting impulse builds discipline. Every act of restraint strengthens your will. Patience signals maturity. Waiting for the right time is a strength, not a weakness. Self-control disarms manipulation. If emotions can't be provoked, control stays with you. Measured responses carry more weight. Speaking or acting after thought commands respect. It creates emotional stability. You become less reactive, more grounded. Discipline earns respect. People admire those who live with intention, not impulse. Self-control boosts decision quality. Slowing down leads to better choices. It builds resilience. You endure challenges without breaking under pressure. Restraint preserves energy. You avoid wasting strength on needless battles. Self-mastery is rare. The rarity of discipline makes it stand out in any crowd. It shows you value principles over feelings. You act on reason, not fleeting emotion. Self-control protects relationships. It prevents words and actions you can't take back. It demonstrates inner peace. Serenity in storms is strength in action. Mastery of desire creates freedom. You own your wants, they don't own you. Self-control reflects preparation. It's the result of training your mind daily. It's a timeless mark of strength. From Stoic philosophers to modern leaders, restraint has always been respected. Silence protects your dignity. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. When emotions run high, words can become weapons, often turned against you. Silence is not weakness. It is the shield of dignity. The Stoics knew that a wise person doesn't waste energy proving themselves to those who don't listen or respect them. By staying silent, you refuse to be dragged into unnecessary drama. You keep control over your image, and you maintain self-respect. In a noisy world, the dignity of silence speaks volumes. Lessons and points. Silence prevents emotional outbursts. You avoid saying things you might regret. It stops escalation. Refusing to argue can de-escalate tension. Silence keeps your composure intact. Calmness under attack shows strength. It avoids giving others ammunition. Fewer words mean fewer things that can be twisted. Silence reflects self-respect. You value yourself too much to engage in petty conflict. It signals emotional maturity. Not every insult deserves a reaction. Silence can disarm aggressors. They expect a fight, you give them none. It preserves your image. People remember dignity more than heated words. Silence shows control. You decide when and how to respond, if at all. It lets truth reveal itself. Time exposes lies better than arguments do. Silence forces others to think. Your lack of response can make them question themselves. It avoids looking desperate. Responding to every jab shows insecurity. Silence allows strategic timing. You can choose the perfect moment to speak if necessary. It protects relationships. Sometimes space is better than a heated conversation. Silence preserves mystery. The less you reveal, the harder it is for others to judge you. It guards mental peace. Avoiding verbal battles keeps you calm and focused. Silence teaches patience. You learn to respond with thought, not impulse. It can be a silent boundary. Not replying sends a message of what you will not tolerate. Silence aligns with Stoic wisdom. Speak only if it improves upon silence. It makes your words worth more. When you speak rarely, people listen closely. She starts filling in the gaps. When you stop explaining yourself, stop chasing, and stop giving constant updates, something powerful happens. She begins to fill in the blanks on her own. Human nature hates uncertainty, and the mind rushes to create stories to explain what it doesn't know. The Stoics understood that leaving space for others to think and wonder often tells you more about them than any direct question could. By pulling back, you create room for curiosity, introspection, and sometimes even longing. Silence and space can speak louder than words. Lessons in points. The mind hates uncertainty. People naturally try to complete the missing pieces. Space triggers curiosity. She starts wondering what you're doing and why. Silence shifts focus inward. She begins to examine her own feelings and behavior. Distance creates emotional pull. What's absent feels more important. She will replay past moments, trying to find clues to your thoughts or feelings. Lack of updates builds intrigue. Mystery makes you more interesting. She may question her assumptions. Space can make her rethink what she believed about you. It reveals emotional investment. If she's thinking about you, it means you matter. She might notice your absence in routines, missing what she once took for granted. It prevents overexposure. Too much information kills curiosity. It can create longing. Emotional distance can spark desire. She starts imagining scenarios, filling in the blanks with her own interpretations. Absence tests connection. True interest will seek you out, not fade away. It can lead to self-awareness. She reflects on her own actions and their impact. It builds your perceived value. People value what they can't fully grasp. She becomes more attentive, looking for signs from you when they appear. It puts you in control of the narrative. You choose what's revealed and when. It can shift power dynamics. The one who wonders chases, not the one who explains. It teaches the impact of presence. Distance makes her realize what you bring. It aligns with Stoic restraint. Let actions and silence speak more than endless explanations. Time amplifies reflection. Time is not just a healer, it's a magnifier. When we step away from a moment, an argument, or even a relationship, time gives us the distance to see things more clearly. What felt urgent often becomes unimportant. What we ignored can become essential. The Stoics valued reflection because it transforms experiences into lessons, but reflection needs space to grow. With time, emotions settle, clarity sharpens, and truths that were hidden in the heat of the moment reveal them. It shifts the power dynamic. Power in any relationship, whether personal, professional, or social, is rarely fixed. It flows, shifts, and changes depending on how we act, what we reveal, and when we choose to engage or withdraw. The Stoics understood that true power often comes not from domination, but from control over oneself and the situation. When you withhold attention, remain calm, or change your usual behavior, you shift the power dynamic. This shift places you in control, making others adapt to your new stance. Knowing when and how to shift power is a subtle art that creates respect, influence, and balance. Lessons and points. Withholding response puts you in control. Silence or delay forces others to react first. Detachment reduces others' leverage. When you're less emotionally available, you gain power. Setting boundaries shifts respect. Clear limits make others adjust their expectations. Not chasing increases your value. Desire follows absence and restraint. Calmness under pressure dominates chaos. Stability gives you an upper hand. Changing behavior disrupts patterns. Breaking routines forces others to recalibrate. Selective sharing controls the narrative. You decide what information flows. Confidence shifts attention toward you. Self-assuredness naturally attracts influence. Emotional independence signals strength. Power comes from relying on yourself, not others. Silence creates tension that favors you. Waiting can unsettle others and shift power. Strategic absence creates longing and respect. Being missed increases your importance. Mastering timing enhances influence. Knowing when to act or hold back alters dynamics. Non-reactivity disarms aggression. Not giving emotional fuel removes others' power. Self-control in speech controls the interaction. Measured words guide the direction of conversations. Changing your value perception changes theirs. When you value yourself highly, others must follow. Creating mystery maintains intrigue. Unknown elements keep you in a position of strength. Power isn't about force, but choice. True influence comes from your decisions, not domination. Maintaining dignity earns respect and power. People respect those who don't lose themselves. Shifting power creates balance, not conflict. Power used wisely avoids unnecessary battles. Stoic calm is the ultimate power shift. Inner peace unsettles chaos and asserts control. Silence is emotional contrast. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a powerful emotional contrast that highlights feelings and reactions around it. In conversations and relationships, when words flood in constantly, emotions blur into background noise. But silence creates a pause, a space where feelings intensify and become more noticeable. The Stoics valued silence because it allows you to control the emotional tone, giving you power over yourself and others. Silence is the canvas on which emotions stand out. Sometimes comfort, sometimes tension, but always meaningful. Lessons in points. Silence creates emotional space. It allows feelings to surface clearly. It heightens awareness. The absence of words makes people more sensitive to unspoken cues. Silence intensifies emotions. Both positive and negative feelings become stronger. It gives room for reflection. Emotions can be processed rather than reacted to immediately. Silence can signal disagreement without conflict. You don't need words to express displeasure. It makes spoken words stand out. When you break silence, your words carry more impact. Silence builds suspense. Emotional tension grows in the quiet moments. It can comfort or unsettle. Depending on context, silence can soothe or create anxiety. Silence shifts emotional power. It lets you control the tempo of interaction. It encourages empathy. Without distraction, people tune into feelings more deeply. Silence shows restraint. You choose not to escalate emotions with words. It protects dignity. Staying silent in heated moments keeps you above emotional chaos. Silence invites curiosity. Others wonder what you're thinking or feeling. It creates emotional contrast. Quiet moments highlight louder ones. Silence can provoke introspection. People think more deeply when not overwhelmed by talk. It reduces misunderstandings. Pausing prevents hasty or emotional miscommunication. Silence can shift moods. It can calm anger or deepen affection. It signals emotional strength. Not reacting immediately shows control. Silence complements action. Sometimes what's left unsaid carries the most meaning. It's a tool for emotional intelligence. Using silence strategically enhances understanding. It forces her to miss you. Absence isn't just a gap, it's a powerful catalyst for longing. When you pull back and create distance, you force her mind and heart to notice what was once taken for granted. The Stoics taught that desire thrives on value, and value grows when something becomes scarce. By stepping away strategically, whether from conversation, attention, or presence, you create space for her to realize your importance. It's not manipulation, but a natural dynamic of human psychology. We miss what we don't have. Lessons in points distance creates emotional space. She has room to feel your absence deeply. Scarcity increases perceived value. What's rare is treasured more. She reflects on past moments. Absence encourages reminiscing about your time together. It triggers curiosity and wonder. She starts thinking about what you're doing and why you're away. Absence stirs longing. Desire grows in the vacuum you leave. She notices what she misses. The little things you did become more obvious. It prevents complacency. Constant presence can dull attraction. Absence reignites it. Space fosters independence. She values you more when not overly dependent. It encourages emotional investment. Missing you deepens her feelings. Absence tests genuine interest. Those who care will seek you out. It builds anticipation for reunion. Returns become special moments. She imagines possibilities. The unknown fuels emotional engagement. Absence helps balance emotions. It cools intensity to a sustainable level. She starts filling emotional gaps. Wondering about you leads to deeper connection. It shifts the power dynamic. You hold control by managing availability. Absence creates mystery. Not knowing everything about you keeps her intrigued. She appreciates your presence more. Time away highlights your value. It encourages self-reflection. She thinks about her own feelings and desires. Absence prevents emotional burnout. Space keeps the relationship fresh. It aligns with Stoic principles. Control your presence to cultivate respect and desire. You maintain inner peace. Inner peace is the foundation of true strength and resilience. In a world full of chaos, conflict, and constant demands, maintaining calm within is a powerful act of self-mastery. The Stoics taught that while we can't control external events, we always have control over our reactions. By cultivating inner peace, you protect your mind from turmoil, make better decisions, and live with clarity and purpose. Inner peace isn't passive. It's an active choice to remain centered regardless of what happens outside. Lessons and points. Inner peace is a choice, not circumstance. You control your mindset, not external events. Calmness improves decision-making. A peaceful mind sees options clearly and wisely. It reduces stress and anxiety. Peace protects you from emotional overwhelm. Inner peace fosters resilience. You bounce back faster from setbacks. It strengthens emotional control. You respond thoughtfully, not react impulsively. Peace allows acceptance. You accept what you cannot change, focusing energy where it matters. It deepens self-awareness. Quiet minds observe thoughts and feelings without judgment. Inner peace enhances relationships. Calmness helps you communicate and connect better. It builds patience. You wait with composure rather than rush into frustration. Peace protects dignity. You maintain grace under pressure and conflict. It frees mental energy. Less worry means more focus on what truly matters. Inner peace promotes health. Reduced stress benefits body and mind. It aligns with Stoic philosophy. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. Peace is a foundation for confidence. Calmness breeds quiet strength. It encourages mindfulness. Staying present reduces regret and anxiety. Inner peace supports creativity. A calm mind is fertile for ideas and solutions. It improves sleep and rest. Peaceful minds find easier relaxation. Peace creates emotional balance. You experience highs and lows without being overwhelmed. It nurtures gratitude. Calm reflection reveals what's truly valuable. Maintaining peace is a lifelong practice. It requires daily effort and self-discipline. It tests her intentions. In any relationship or interaction, true intentions are often hidden beneath words and actions that can be superficial or driven by convenience. The Stoics believe that time and restraint reveal character. When you create distance, silence, or hold back your full availability, you set a test. A natural filter that shows who genuinely cares and who is just passing through. This test isn't about playing games, but about valuing yourself enough to see who matches your commitment and who does not. True intentions withstand absence and challenge while shallow ones fade away. Lessons in points distance reveals true interest. Genuine care persists despite space. Silence filters insincere engagement. Those only interested in convenience disappear. Testing intentions protects your energy. You avoid wasting time on false connections. It encourages self-reflection. She considers what she truly wants when challenged. Challenges build stronger bonds. True intentions grow. Under pressure. It clarifies priorities. Who makes an effort when it counts reveals values. It prevents dependency. Testing keeps relationships balanced and healthy. She must decide her commitment. Absence demands choice, not assumption. It exposes manipulative behavior. Those with hidden agendas often withdraw. Testing fosters respect. Only those willing to invest earn your time. It creates emotional resilience. You learn to withstand uncertainty without losing yourself. True intentions withstand discomfort. Genuine people endure difficulty to maintain connection. It builds trust over time. Actions under test show reliability. Testing strengthens boundaries. You maintain standards without apology. It helps avoid future pain. Early tests prevent prolonged deception. She becomes more intentional. Space makes her reconsider her feelings. It shifts power to mutual effort. Both sides must work to sustain the bond. Testing reveals communication quality. Genuine people reach out meaningfully. It promotes emotional honesty. Hardship uncovers true feelings. Aligns with Stoic wisdom. Value yourself enough to test and wait for real commitment. Silence avoids drama. Drama thrives on reaction and noise. Every argument, misunderstanding, or conflict escalates when we respond impulsively or defensively. The Stoics taught that silence is a powerful tool to prevent unnecessary turmoil. Choosing not to engage in petty disputes or heated exchanges keeps your mind clear and your dignity intact. Silence is not surrender. It's a strategic pause that protects your peace and diffuses potential chaos. By mastering silence, you avoid the exhausting cycle of drama and maintain control over your emotional world. Lessons and points. Silence diffuses tension. Not reacting lowers the heat of conflict. It prevents escalation. Without fuel from your words, drama fizzles out. Silence protects your energy. You don't waste effort on pointless battles, it keeps your dignity intact. Avoiding drama preserves respect for yourself. Choosing silence shows maturity. Not every provocation deserves a response. It prevents misunderstandings from growing. Silence gives space to cool down. Silence signals emotional control. You don't let emotions dictate your actions. It stops gossip and rumors. Not engaging reduces spread of negativity. Silence encourages others to calm down. Your quietness can be contagious. It creates space for rational thinking. Without noise, reason can prevail. Silence avoids regret. You won't say things you might later wish you hadn't. It teaches patience. Waiting before responding builds wisdom. Silence protects relationships. Avoiding drama helps maintain peace. It discourages manipulation. Drama often aims to provoke a reaction you refuse to give. Silence shifts focus to solutions. Less talk, more action. It cultivates inner peace. You remain calm amidst external chaos. Silence models strength to others. People respect those who rise above petty fights. It reduces social friction. Fewer words, fewer conflicts. Silence invites reflection. Others may reconsider their behavior in your quiet presence. It aligns with Stoic wisdom. Speak only when it improves upon silence. It demonstrates independence. Independence is a cornerstone of strength and self-respect. It means standing firm without needing constant approval or validation from others. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes from within, from relying on your own judgment, values, and resilience, rather than external circumstances or people. When you demonstrate independence, you signal confidence and emotional maturity. Others see that you're not easily swayed or dependent, which naturally commands respect and admiration. Independence is not isolation. It's the power to choose your path with clarity and conviction. Lessons and points. Independence shows self-confidence. You trust yourself without needing constant reassurance. It reduces emotional dependency. You don't rely on others to feel whole or happy. Independence signals maturity. You take responsibility for your life and choices. It protects your peace. You're less affected by others' opinions or drama. Demonstrating independence creates respect. People admire those who stand on their own. It strengthens decision-making. You choose based on your values, not pressure. Independence encourages personal growth. You explore your path without fear of judgment. It fosters resilience. You bounce back from challenges relying on your own strength. It clarifies boundaries. You know what you will and won't tolerate. Independence reduces neediness. You're emotionally self-sufficient. It attracts healthier relationships. Others respect your strength and space. Independence fuels authenticity. You act in alignment with your true self. It empowers calmness. You remain steady regardless of external chaos. Demonstrating independence shifts power dynamics. You're less controllable or manipulable. It promotes self-respect. You value yourself enough to stand alone. Independence fosters creativity. Freedom from dependence sparks innovation. It teaches patience. You wait for what aligns with your values, not instant gratification. Independence strengthens focus. You pursue goals without distraction from others' drama. It cultivates inner peace. You find contentment within, not from outside sources. Independence aligns with the Stoic philosophy. True freedom lies in self-mastery and choice. She begins to question her actions. When you step back and create space, it often triggers self-reflection in others. She begins to question her own actions, motives, and feelings, wondering how her behavior affects the relationship or situation. This process of introspection can lead to greater understanding, growth, and sometimes change. The Stoics valued reflection and believed that awareness is the first step toward wisdom. By allowing silence or distance, you give her room to think clearly without pressure, making her more mindful of her role and choices. Lessons in point space encourages introspection. Distance gives room for honest self-examination. She reflects on her behavior and its impact, considering how her actions influence the relationship. Questioning can lead to growth. Awareness is the first step toward improvement. It promotes emotional responsibility. She takes ownership of her feelings and choices. She may realize mistakes or misunderstandings. Clarity comes with time and distance. Questioning increases empathy. Understanding your perspective grows with reflection. It fosters healthier communication. Awareness leads to better conversations later. Self-questioning reduces blame. She may soften judgments and become more open. It helps balance power dynamics. She reassesses her role rather than controlling the interaction. Reflection prevents repeating negative patterns. Insight helps break unhealthy cycles. It encourages sincere apologies and reconciliation. Genuine remorse comes from self-awareness. Questioning aligns with Stoic virtues. Wisdom and self-control arise from reflection. It deepens emotional connection. Awareness strengthens bonds when it leads to change. She becomes more intentional. Actions become more thoughtful and less reactive. It creates a pause for mutual understanding. Space fosters clarity for both parties. Questioning promotes patience. She learns to wait and consider before acting. It reduces impulsive reactions. Thoughtfulness replaces immediate emotional responses. Reflection builds trust over time. Awareness signals genuine care. She may reassess her desires and priorities. Reflection can clarify what she truly wants. It supports long-term relationship growth. Consciousness of actions nurtures lasting bonds. It shows emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is the ability to manage your feelings thoughtfully rather than being controlled by them. It reflects self-awareness, patience, and the wisdom to respond instead of react. The Stoics championed emotional maturity as a cornerstone of a balanced life, where reason guides emotion and integrity shapes action. Demonstrating emotional maturity means staying calm in adversity, owning your mistakes, and communicating with clarity and respect. It's not about suppressing emotions but mastering them, which earns trust, respect, and deeper connections. Lessons and points. Emotional maturity means self-control, managing emotions instead of letting them rule you. It reflects self-awareness, understanding your feelings and their triggers. Mature emotions lead to thoughtful responses, choosing how to act rather than reacting impulsively. It involves accepting responsibility, owning your mistakes without blame shifting. Emotional maturity promotes patience, waiting and listening before reacting. It helps regulate stress and anxiety, staying calm under pressure. Maturity builds stronger relationships. Clear communication and empathy foster trust. It encourages forgiveness, letting go of grudges for your peace of mind. Emotional maturity includes healthy boundaries, knowing when to say no and protect yourself. It shows resilience, bouncing back from setbacks with grace. Mature people embrace vulnerability wisely, sharing feelings without oversharing. It prevents drama and unnecessary conflict, keeping interactions constructive. Emotional maturity aligns with Stoic acceptance. Focusing on what you can control emotionally, it fosters emotional intelligence, recognizing and respecting others' emotions. Mature emotions support better decision-making. Clear minds make better choices. It cultivates humility, understanding that you don't have all the answers. Emotional maturity promotes self-respect, valuing yourself and others equally. It helps manage disappointment gracefully. Accepting outcomes without bitterness. Maturity encourages long-term thinking, considering consequences beyond the moment. It's a lifelong practice. Emotional maturity grows through reflection and effort. Space can heal or strengthen bonds. Sometimes stepping back is the strongest way to move forward. Space, whether physical, emotional, or mental, provides time to reflect, cool down, and gain perspective. The Stoics believed that calm reflection is essential for wisdom and growth. When given properly, space doesn't create distance. It creates room for healing, understanding, and renewed connection. It can mend wounds, clarify feelings, and strengthen bonds by allowing both sides to return with greater empathy and commitment. Space isn't separation, it's the soil where relationships grow stronger. Lessons in point space offers perspective. Time apart helps see the relationship more clearly. It reduces emotional intensity. Cooling off prevents rash reactions and regrets. Space allows healing. Emotional wounds begin to mend when given room. It fosters self-reflection. Both sides can assess their feelings and actions. Space prevents burnout. Avoiding constant closeness keeps energy and affection alive. It encourages independence. Healthy boundaries support personal growth within relationships. Space can reignite attraction. Absence helps appreciation and desire to grow. It clarifies priorities. Time apart reveals what truly matters. Space encourages better communication. Calm minds express feelings more constructively. It builds trust. Respecting the need for space shows care and understanding. Space prevents escalation of conflict. Distance diffuses tension before it explodes. It promotes patience. Waiting helps temper expectations and frustrations. Space supports emotional balance, reduces dependency, and fosters stability. It reveals underlying issues. Distance exposes what needs attention or change. Space allows for gratitude. Time apart highlights the value of each other. It strengthens commitment. Intentional space can renew dedication. Space encourages mutual respect. Both parties honor boundaries and autonomy. It supports growth together and individually. Both partners evolve with breathing room. Space can prevent breakups. Healing and clarity can save relationships from ending prematurely. It aligns with Stoic virtue of temperance. Balance between closeness and distance sustains harmony. Silence filters out. The unworthy silence is more than a pause. It's a powerful filter. When you choose silence over constant engagement, you reveal who truly values you and who does not. The Stoics taught that wisdom often lies in restraint and knowing when not to speak. By withholding words and attention, you naturally sift through relationships and connections, exposing those who are genuinely interested versus those who are merely passing through. Silence doesn't just protect your peace, it screens out the unworthy, leaving space for what truly matters. Lessons and points. Silence reveals true intentions. Those who care will reach out despite the quiet. It tests patience and commitment. Genuine people wait and persist. Others fade away. Silence protects your energy. You avoid wasting effort on superficial connections. It sets a standard. Not everyone deserves your time and attention. Silence encourages self-reflection in others. They reconsider their interest and behavior. It prevents manipulation. Silence denies emotional reactions that manipulators seek. Silence creates natural boundaries. You show what you will tolerate. It strengthens your position. Those who pursue you do so on your terms. Silence highlights your value. The less available you are, the more you're respected. It reduces drama and conflict. Quietness avoids unnecessary entanglements. Silence aligns with Stoic restraint. Speak only when it benefits you or the situation. It fosters emotional independence. You rely less on external validation. Silence signals confidence. You don't need to chase approval. It encourages genuine communication. When words come, they carry more weight. Silence prevents burnout. Conserving words preserves mental and emotional strength. It filters out attention seekers. Those only interested in drama lose interest. Silence builds mystery and intrigue. Uncertainty makes people more curious. It invites respect. People respect those who maintain control over their presence. Silence protects your dignity. You avoid lowering yourself to petty exchanges. It is a tool for self-mastery. Mastering silence means mastering yourself. You lead by example. True leadership is less about words and more about actions. The Stoics believed that the best leaders inspire through consistent behavior, integrity, and self-mastery, rather than force or authority. When you lead by example, you set the standard others naturally want to follow. Your calm, disciplined, and ethical conduct creates a powerful influence without the need for demands or commands. Leading by example shows strength, earns respect, and builds trust, because people believe what they see more than what they hear. Lessons and points. Actions speak louder than words. People notice what you do more than what you say. Consistency builds trust. Steady behavior earns lasting respect. Leading by example shows integrity. You align your values with your actions. It inspires others to improve. People emulate what they admire. Leadership is self-mastery first. You must govern yourself before guiding others. It reduces the need for control. Influence comes naturally, not by force. Leading by example creates credibility. Your behavior validates your advice. It fosters accountability. You hold yourself to the same standards you expect. It builds a positive culture. Your example shapes the environment around you. It models emotional maturity, demonstrating calmness and patience under pressure. Leaders show humility. Acknowledging mistakes encourages growth. Leading by example promotes teamwork. Others feel motivated to contribute. It encourages ethical behavior, setting moral standards through your conduct. Leadership is influence, not position. True power comes from how you act. It strengthens communication. Actions support and reinforce your words. Leading by example cultivates respect. People follow those they respect deeply. It helps resolve conflicts peacefully. Your calm sets the tone for others. It encourages perseverance. Showing resilience motivates others to keep going. Leadership is a daily practice. Consistent actions build leadership over time. It aligns with Stoic virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance shown in daily life.